Your tools. What kind of tools do you use? Everybody's got tools. So in affordable housing property management, we have our office equipment. Those are basically like our tools of the trade. Okay? Just like the maintenance guys got power drill, level, ladder, hammer, saw, grinder, the property manager will have notebook, pen, pencil, printer, scanner, telephone, fax machine, organizer, tablet, software, calculator. All these are the tools, etc. All these are the tools that basically you will need. So when you are managing an affordable housing property, you should set yourself up in such a way. So right now there's the old way of doing things is where you need an office and an internet connection and a dial-up and everything. That's the old way of doing it, and it's because there's a lot of dinosaurs in the property management field. And there's no hate to them. I love the older people. I love the people who've been in the field for a long time. But I think things are changing. So nowadays, the property management teams, the property management companies, they're switching to a more mobile manager type way. The term floater is coming out. I don't know if you guys know it, but the term floater means that they go to different properties and they set up operations there. Okay, and I've been a floater too. I've been asked to go into the middle of nowhere, into some freaking affordable housing, 100 miles into the middle of nowhere with no telephone, no signal, nothing, and set up some kind of base of operations there so that we can operate and we can successfully manage a 60, 70 unit property in the middle of nowhere. Okay, and everything that entails to managing an affordable housing community. You got to be able to set up your office in an instant. That's the skill that you're gonna learn. It's almost like you're a CIA. It's almost like you're a CIA agent and you're going into enemy territory or into a foreign territory, and you are establishing a base of operations. You're establishing communications there. You've ever watched the show The Spy with Sacha Baron Cohen? Check that one out. That it kind of explains what I mean. But you should be able to do that as an affordable housing property manager. You should be able to go and set up operations everywhere. Okay, so that means that you need to know how to set up a computer, whether it's a laptop or a desktop. You got to know how to set that up in a place. Nowadays, people are switching to the tablet. It was first the desktop, and then the laptop became the huge thing. Now the tablet's the whole thing. My recommendation, go for the tablet. Why go backwards? Try to innovate yourself. Go for the tablet. Get a tablet with a keyboard on it. And get the wireless link. It's a service that you pay for monthly, but then you'll have wireless internet connection, and then you set that up with your tablet. Boom! You've got yourself a working internet connected computer, and you can connect to the property management software. If you have access to the cloud, which most of these big companies do, you can connect to the cloud, and then any paperwork, any forms, any contacts, any information, you will have access because you are connected to the cloud. You can also have that on your cell phone too. So you see how we went from having this huge office that we need all this shit to reducing what we need. Now we've got a tablet, we've got a keyboard, we've got internet connection, we've got a smartphone. We have access to the cloud. Now you need now the printer. Of course, ideally you want to work in an office and have all this thing set up, but you also want to have the ability to be mobile too. I don't know if you've ever seen, but they have mobile printers too. Get yourself a Konica Minolta. That's the regular office printer, and you need that because in case you're printing out lots of paperwork. If you're just going mobile, then you can get like a mobile printer scanner. But generally, the office will have a printer, one of those big industrial printers. learn that printer too. That printer is a well-oiled machine, and you need to learn how that printer operates. It takes some time. You know, usually they'll have some troubleshooting, but get very good at that printer, because if that printer goes down, you're not going to be able to get any work done. If that printer goes down, you are useless. Okay, you need to learn that tool. That printer is a tool, and that printer can be a fucker sometimes. Okay, I know that printer can be a real fucker. So learn it, and learn the way it works, and learn how not to get to a point where the printer's not working and then you can't get anything done. Okay, why is it not working? What is the solution? Because there always is one. You also got to put ink in those printers too. So make sure you always got ink on hand. Ink comes from, and then you got to figure out where you can buy the ink from. But ink comes from, you can get it from Amazon, you can get it from your office supply store. Make sure it's a specific one for the right printer, but always have printer ink on hand, because if you run out of printer ink, you won't be able to print anything, you won't be able to get any work done. Paper, always have paper on hand. You should always have a box, at least 2-3 boxes, at least 2 boxes, and 3 is a bit much, but you have 2 boxes with tons of reams of paper in there, you're always going to be operational. The paper and the ink is like the ammo for the printer, and the printer is like the machine gun. That shit always has to be operational, well-oiled, well-maintained, in battery. So that's that tool that you're using. Usually the scanner will be connected to the printer, so you're scanning documents, and then the fax machine. The fax machine will probably be connected to the printer as well. You can learn how to fax without it, but fax, we're still doing fax. Here in this industry, we're still, big on fax. So we're sending fax every day, we're sending emails every day, and we're printing every day. So you can see how important that piece of equipment is. If that printer goes down, you're fucked. Okay, so make sure that your printer does not go down. Learn how to send the fax. Sometimes you got to put a 1 before the fax, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you got to put the area code, sometimes you don't. Learn the little tricks so that you are able to successfully send a fax. There's no point in you sending 5 fax and they didn't get through, and then you're like, oh, well, I already sent the fax. It doesn't count because they didn't get through. So, and you'll know the fax went through because you'll get a confirmation. When you send a fax, it'll send you a paper back saying, hey, we're confirming you that we have delivered your fax. And you always save those confirmations. Don't just read it and be like, oh, that's good, and you throw it away. Save those confirmations, because that is proof that you did your job. You always want to have proof that you did your job. The printer, the fax machine, the telephone. Okay, answer the phone. Don't make phone calls before 8 a.m. If it's before 8 a.m., don't make any phone calls, because everybody's waking up. Nobody wants to talk to you. Wait till like 8:30 to make phone calls. I'll talk about phone etiquette in another video, but there's a specific way you should be calling, and there's a specific way you should be answering the phone, always. And there's also a specific way you should conduct yourself on the phone too, because you don't know who's listening. That's the main thing too, is sometimes people will call you and you don't know who's listening. So you need to conduct yourself consistently, fairly, and professionally on the phone. I'll talk about phone etiquette in another video. Emails. We're sending emails every day. We're scanning documents and sending documents through email every day. So you have to have access to your email. You always have to have access to your email. You have to have access to the internet. You have to be online. And so those are the tools that we use. Organizer. You want to have your organizer, your notebook, so you're organizing your day. I'm coming out with a new product pretty soon. It's going to help all the managers and all the office personnel. But generally, you want to have your notebook and your pencil with you always, so you're writing down everything that happens. You always want to have your pencil and your notebook with you, because things come up. Things always come up at the last minute. You won't have time to grab it, so you need to be able to document things immediately as it comes up. Another piece of equipment that we use. What else do we do? I'll come up with another video of other equipment that we use. But that's pretty much it. Printer, the fax machine, Oh, the check scanner. Yeah, how could I forget? The check scanner. So when you manage affordable housing community, you will be processing rents using a check scanner. So the check scanner is a piece of equipment that you have that scans checks and uploads them to the bank. So that is very specific. I'll make another video about how to do that. But when you're scanning checks, you need to be very careful and make sure that you're checking every single number one by one, because if you fuck up on one of those checks, you won't be able to fix it. So you have to be very careful when you're scanning checks and make sure that the numbers coincide. Okay, pay very close attention. Learn your check scanner. Sometimes it goes down and you need to reinitialize your check scanner. So learn how to reinitialize your check scanner.